Welcome back to the Garza Gaming channel. Today we're going to talk about various different item changes that's coming with 10.3, right? There is a lot of items that are being changed, so I don't want to drag this on any further than we have to, right? So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we go with the items, and there's a lot of items to talk about, so let's get straight into this, man. Now, I'm going to be glossing over some of the lower tier items that are pretty much nobody cares about and talk about the main items that it converts to just to save us time, because I'm telling you, there is a bunch of items that they updated. Okay, so let's get into this. So they reworked the Rada Sepulus, right? So now it's going to cost 2,600 gold. You're going to get 90 attack power or magic item power like you did before. You get 250 health, 250 mana, but they took away the movement speed of this item, which really broke my heart, right? So now it has the passive that healing dealt is increased by 30%. I believe it was 20% before, and the roar applies to gods within 30 units. And it also has a 10% cooldown reduction. So that's the roar gives a 10% cooldown reduction to your allies. So that's really interesting. There's a new item, Rejuvenating Heart. It costs 2,450 gold. You get 70 magic item power, 300 health, 300 mana. And this one has a passive that successfully hitting an enemy god with a basic attack and abilities provides a stack of 6% healing dealt that is consumed by the next ability he'll use, a maximum of 8 stacks. You may only gain 1 stack per god hit per ability. So this is going to be an item that's going to be used to actually magnify your healing, but it's going to be for a one-time heal, right? So 8 stacks at 6%. So multiply 8 by 6 and you have a pretty high heal, but it sounds like as soon as you use this heal, you use the stacks and you have to start over again. So this is going to force our healers to actually do damage and not hide in the background. Another new item is the Last Gasp, right? And this one gives you 100 magic item power. It gives you 200 health, 200 mana. You get plus 15 magical penetration. So this looks like it's going to give you flat pen. And this one has a passive that after healing an ally with an ability, you gain 10 magical power per 10% of the missing health for 6 seconds, right? So this one's based on how much missing health was with the person that you healed. So this is very interesting. So I don't know if it's based on the missing health that's still left over after you healed them, or how much missing health they had before you healed them. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait until this goes into play to really get an idea of this. Okay, so they reworked the Caduceus's club, right? So now this one's going to do 30 physical power, 250 health, 20 MP5, and it's going to give 10% cooldown reduction. Now this one has a passive where healing dealt is increased by 30%. And this one also has an aurora where ally gods within 70 units have a 10% CC reduction and 4% MS, which I don't know what that crap MS means, but it is what it is. Okay, so here we go. Vital Amplifier. This is going to give you 40 physical power. You're going to get 200 health, 15 MP5. You're going to get 20% attack speed with this item. Now, this one has a passive that after healing yourself or an allied god with an ability, you gain 10% attack speed and 5% basic attack damage for 6 seconds, and this stacks 3 times. This screams Cupid, man. This is definitely going to be something I'm going to try on my Cupid build, so I'm going to have to remember that. Vital Amplifier. Okay, another new item is Skemet's Scepter, however you say that. So this is going to give you 45 physical power. It's going to give you 200 health, 15 MP5, 10% cooldown reduction. This one has a passive that after healing yourself or an ally god with an ability for the next 6 seconds, each time you damage an enemy god, your non-ultimate abilities cooldowns are reduced by half a second, right? Now this reduction can only occur once per second, and the effect may only occur once every 12 seconds. So this is another scepter that's going to give you some passive cooldown reduction, in addition to already getting 10% cooldown reduction. So that's pretty interesting, very interesting. It's almost like a take on Chronos Pendant, right? Okay, so moving on. Erosion. So this is also a new item. It's going to give you 30 physical protections. It's going to give you 30 magical protections. It's going to give you 350 hit points. This one has a passive that every time an enemy god within 30 units gains a shield, you gain 15% movement speed for 4 seconds. That's a very interesting benefit. This effect can only happen once every 10 seconds. And it also has an aura that any shields applied on enemy gods within 30 units will be reduced by 30%. So just by being around an Odin, it sounds, or a Hera, you're automatically, if they're within 30 units of you and they cast their shield, it's going to be nerfed. That shield's already going to be nerfed by 30%. That is pretty strong, man. Okay, so the Gem of Isolation got a rework, right? So the passive now reads that enemies hit with your damaging abilities will move 30% slower. So we already had 30% slower on that, but they added and will have shields applied. Any shields applied to them reduced by 50% for 2.5 seconds, which can only occur once every 10 seconds. So if you have a Hera that has a full shield on her, right, and you hit her with an ability, her shield for 2.5 seconds, it's going to lose 50% of its health, allowing you to burn it down to just that much quicker, right? Because once it pops, it pops. Now, if you don't burn it down within those 2.5 seconds, it's going to go back to, at full strength again. That's what it sounds like. So that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so they also reworked the envenomed Deathbringer glyph, right? So now the glyph reads: critical hits on an enemy god afflicts them with poison for 3 seconds, right? So this poison slows them by 10% and reduces their healing by 35%. So it's going to be a slow, and it's going to be a anti-heal, right? And then the shields applied to them are also reduced by 50%. Dude, that is huge. So now you're nerfing any shields that might be put on them. You're freaking, they're putting 35% anti-heal on them, and you're slowing them on top of it. So that is going to be huge for that glyph for sure. Okay, so Claude Shard. This is one of those new starter items type things. So they decrease the lifesteal on this one from 20% to 15%, and 10% physical ability lifesteal to 8%. Cloak of Mediation to decrease the healing per tick from 10 and 3% of your missing health to 8 and 2% of your missing health. Greater Cloak of Meditation, decrease the healing per tick that went from 10 and 3% of your missing health, again to 8 and plus 2% of your missing health. They did the same thing for, Cloak Aseptic. This one here. They decrease the healing per tick from 30 plus 4% of your missing health to 20 plus 3% of your missing health. Cloak of the Avatar, they decrease the healing per tick from 30 and 4% of your missing health to 20 and 3% of your missing health. Are you guys seeing the trend here, man? They're really putting a rework on healing as a whole, man. So Sundering Siphon, right? So they decrease the healing amount from 50% of the damage dealt to 40% of the damage dealt on this one. And let's get into some of our starter upgrades, right? So Death Toll Shift. So they increased the physical power from 15th to 18th on this. So we got a little bit of a buff on that, but they decreased the healing trigger from 2 to 0.4 of your maximum health to 2.2 of your maximum health. Death's Embrace. So they decrease the health restored when hitting an enemy with a basic attack from 2% to 1.4%. And they also added on successful enemy basic attack hits to reduce on non-ultimate attacks cooldowns by 0.33%. So that's pretty cool, man. They added that reduced CDR on that one. And then the passive on this one: hit an enemy god with a basic attack restores 1.4 of your health, 2% of your mana, and reduces any of your non-ult abilities by 0.33 seconds, right? Basic attacks that deal AoE damage restores less health, 75% of your melee attacks, 50% of your range attacks, right? So it looks like range attacks are going to be less. So for each enemy hit after the first one, only counts once per cooldown reduction effect. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, Death's Temper. Increase the amount of stacks gained from a kill or an assist of a god from 5 to 10. So they doubled the amount of stacks you get for Death's Temper. Uh, Leather cowl shift, right? So this one, to decrease the cost of it, who cares? Increase the physical power from 15 to 18. So you got a little bit of a buff, but then they nerfed the lifesteal, of course. They decrease lifesteal from 7% to 4%, increase attack speed from 7% to 10%. So it's going to be a lot more powerful damage-wise. Obviously, you're going to get, less survivability with it. Hunter's cowl, they increase the physical power on this one from 60 to 70, decrease the physical lifesteal from 15% to 10%, which is a very big cut. And then they increased attack speed from 15% to 20%. So they pretty much gave you less lifesteal, but more attack speed on this one. Leader's cowl. Increase the physical power on this one from 50 to 70 physical power. They decrease the physical lifesteal from 15 to 10, and they increase attack speed from 15 to 20. Gilded arrow. Increase the bonus gold gain from this one. The passive of this from 3 to 4. So you can get a little bit more gold out of this one. Now, Diamond Arrow Head, the buff on this one, they increased the health from 100 to 150, so that's huge. And then they added a 10% penetration for both magical and physical. So that's interesting. So now you're going to get penetration on both of those. So that's pretty cool. Now, Ornate Arrow, right? On this one, they increased the basic attack damage from 60 to 70, so a little bit of a buff there, and increased the physical crit chance from 5% to 15%. Dude, that is huge. That is a huge upgrade for that. Bluestone Pendant nerfs. Here we go, man. They just nerfed this one too. So they decreased the total damage on this one from 48 to 40, right? So they're taking away 8 more damage on this one. Now, when it evolves to the full Bluestone Brooch, they decrease the total base damage on this one from 180 to 160. Man, they're just whittling away on this item. And then they decrease the current health damage from 15% to 12%. Is this going to be such a big nerf that I'm not going to use it? No, I'm still going to use it. I'm going to go check it out and see how it works. But it's getting to that teeter-totter, edge where it's not even worth using no more. So hopefully they don't mess with it no more. Warrior's Axe. This one, they decreased the health and mana restore from 30 and 1.5 per level to 20 and 1 per level. Damage still stays the same. Sundering Axe. They increased the damage from protection scaling from 1% to 1.5%. So they increase your damage you get from protection. So they're going to be buffing up our tanks. And this item no longer triggers its bonus damage off other item damage, right? And will only trigger off ability damage. So that's interesting. Boomba's Dagger, they increased the physical power on this one from 7 to 10. They increased the magical power from this one from 12 to 15. And they decreased the health restore from 10% to 8%. Now, when it evolves to Boomba's Spear, they decreased the health restored from 10% to 8%. And then when it evolves to Boomba's Hammer, they increased the physical power from 50 to 60, increased the magical power scaling from 70 to 80. But they decreased the health restored from per hit from this from 100 to 80. Which kind of sucks, dude. Mannequin Scepter Shift. They increased the power scale on this one from 5% to 7%, and they decreased the health restored from 3% to 2.5%. So this one wasn't too bad. Mannequin's Mace Nerf decreased the health restore from 3% to 2.5%. So the mannequins didn't get too badly hit. Jungle, the Eye of the Jungle increased the magical power from 10 to 15, increased magical power from physical to 10 to 15, magical 20 to 30. Who cares? We don't use this in arena. Okay, Sentinel's Gift nerf. So they decreased the health restore from 15 to 12. When it evolves, the Sentinel's Boon nerf, it decreased the health restore from 4 to 3. Benevolence decreased the health restored from 0.75 to 0.6. Protector's Mask, they nerfed this one. They decreased the health restore from 15 to 12. War Flag got decreased health restore from 5 to 4. War Banner nerf decreased the health restored from 1.25 to just 1. Vampiric Shroud, they decreased the cost on this one by 50 gold. They increased the magical power from this one from 30 to 35. They increased the MP5 from 7 to 10. Decreased lifesteal from 7% to 4%, which is a dramatic reduction in lifesteal. And they decreased the health restore from 4 to 3. The Blood-Soaked Shroud. They increased the magical power on this one from 95 to 110, which is a huge boost in a magical item power, right? And they increased the health from this one, giving you another 50 hit points on this one from 300 to 350, which is huge. They decrease the lifesteal though from 15% to 10%, and they decrease the health restore by from 1.5 to 1.2%. Realistically, dude, it sounds like they've made this item a lot more powerful. Yeah, you get a little bit less survivability, but the added benefits on this seems outweighs the nerfs, to tell you the truth. Sacrificial Shroud, increase the magical power scaling from 115 to 125. That's a huge jump. Increase the physical protections from 40 to 50. Decrease lifesteal, though, from 15% to 10%. And now it does, instead of doing 5% damage, to yourself every time you use an ability, it only does 3%. Okay, here we go. Spike Gauntlet. Increase the power on this one from 5 to 7. Decrease lifesteal from 5% to 2%. Curse Gauntlet. Increase the physical power on this one from 20 to 25. Decrease lifesteal from 7% to 4%. Now, once it evolves, Devourer's Gauntlet. Increase the physical power from 30 to 35. Added 0.2 physical penetration per stack. So you're going to get penetration per stack on that. That's huge. And then decrease the stacking life steal from 0.2% to 0.1%. Kind of sucks. And decrease the life steal from 15% to 10%. Decrease physical penetration once it evolves from 10 to 5. So net is still 15 instead of 10. I don't know, dude. I don't use that item, so I don't care. Evolve Devourer's Gauntlet. Increase the physical power scaling from 65 to 70. Decrease the physical penetration from 10 to 15. And decrease lifesteal from 25 to 15. You can see the trend here, man. Lifesteal is just getting demolished. Okay, so this one is a very, very interesting upgrade to Bloodforge, and I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. Now, they added 10% attack speed to this item, but they nerfed lifesteal by 5%. So it went from 15% to 10%, which is fine. For Bloodforge, the item, the gods that I use this on, I think I can sacrifice 5 of lifesteal to gain an additional 10% attack speed, dude. That is huge on this item. And the fact that they didn't change the cost of it anymore is really, really nice. Bonded Gauntlet, it went from physical power 15 to 20, lifesteal 10% to 6%. Okay, Soul Eater, increase the physical power on this one from 25 to 30, decrease lifesteal from 10% to 6%, decrease lifesteal from 5% ability lifesteal to 0.25. So they chopped that in half for your abilities, and then they increase physical power on the evolved from 15 to 20. So Evolve Soul Eater, increase the physical power from 40 to 50. Wait, hold on. Let me go like that. Increase physical power on Evolve from 15 to 20. Okay, whatever. Okay, so Evolve Soul Eater. Increase physical power on this one from 40 to 50. They decrease the lifesteal on it from 15 to 10. And they decrease lifesteal from 20% to 10% on abilities. So, yeah. Asai, increase the physical power from 50 to 55. So that's huge. But they decreased the lifesteal from 20% to 12%, which is a dramatic drop, dude. And then decrease the lifesteal from the passive from 25% to 50%. Again, a very dramatic drop on this item. Not happy about that one. Okay, Telkine's Ring. They decreased lifesteal on this one from 10% to 6%, so you're losing 4% on that one. Polynomicon, they decreased the lifesteal on this one from 12% to 8%. This is another big one, man. Spirit of the Magus, they increased the passive on this one from getting an additional 7.5% damage on God from any source to 9%. That's a huge, huge jump, and they increased the duration by 1 second. So now the buffs can last 6 seconds. The caveat to that is that they decreased lifesteal from 12% to 8%. Realistically, the decrease in lifesteal on this item, I don't even care about, because usually I use this on items that are ranged anyway. But to get an additional, 1.5% damage from any source and have it last another second, that's going to be very, very huge for this item. And I'm really looking forward to see how that works out. Pantherium's piece, they increase the magical power on this one from 40 to 50. They decrease the lifesteal from 12% plus 12/10% to 8% plus 8/6%. All right. Soul Gem. Ooh, what's going on here with Soul Gem? Soul Gem is another item I love using on some of my gods. So they increased the magical power on this one from 80 to 90. They decreased the lifesteal on it from 12% to 8%. They decreased the magical power scaling damage from 25% to 20%. So before, I believe it did when it exploded, it did 25. Oh, I'm sorry, it did 25% of your magic item power as damage when it exploded. Now it's only going to do 20% magic item power. So you're losing 5% damage on the explosion, and decrease a healing from 30% of your magic power to 15 plus 5 per level. And what we got? We got 20 levels. So is that how it's going to work? 20 times 5? I don't know. We'll see. Dun, 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 dun. Talkine's shift. We'll skip that. We'll just go straight to the Bankhouse Talon. So the Bankhouse Talon, they increased the mana from this one to 150 to 200. They increased the passive floor on this one from 25% to 40% health. They increased the lifesteal from 15% to 20% to 10% and 10%. Interesting. Very interesting. And very confusing. uh, Typhon's Fang, right? On this one, they decreased the cost also. They increased the magical power from 70 to 85. So they added 15 damage on this one. They increased the magical penetration from 10% to 20%, and then decreased the lifesteal from 15% to 10%. And then they decreased the decreased healing from lifesteal from 25% to 15%. If I remember correctly, this one also gave you double if I remember correctly, this one gave you double magic power for the amount of lifesteal that you had. I'm not reading that here anywhere, anything about its passive, so I'm thinking the passive stayed the same. So we're gonna have to see when that goes into play. So the teleport fragment nerf, the cooldown got added to 20 seconds. Who cares? We don't use that in freaking arena. Frostbane hammer decreased the cost on this one by 50 gold and increased the physical power from 30 to 35. Now, though, they added that only assassins and warriors can use this item. So you can't use this item on a hunter anymore. Ruin Forge Hammer, they decreased the cost on this one by 100, but they decreased the cooldown of the passive effect from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. Oni Hunter's Garb, they increased the health on this one by 50, so giving you 50% more health, but they decreased the damage mitigation by 1%. So now you're only going to get 3% damage mitigation per stack, for how many gods are around you. Fail Not. This is an interesting one because I do use Fail Not on a couple of my gods. Scotty is the first one that jumps to mind, right? So they added 10% damage output reduction to the debuff mark on this item. So it's not going to be too much, but it's going to give it a little bit more of a zing, right? So they reduced the cost of Transcendence, which is always good. Demon Blade, they increased the physical power on this one from 25 to 30, and they increased the passive attack speed from 10 to 15. So it's pretty much up there with Windblade used to be, right? Bladed Boomerang buff, they just decreased the cost on that one. And Griffin Wing Earring, they increased the physical power on this one from 45 to 55. Heroism, this item now, you gain 8 GP5 if you have the lowest gold on your team. Okay, Spartan Flag, the item on this one, you gain 6 gold GP5 if you have the lowest gold on your team. Okay, whatever, dude. Okay, Divine Ruin. Here we go. They decreased the magical power scaling from the arc damage from 20% to 10%. So they cut your arc damage by half on this item. This one is gigantic and it's going to cause me to try this out in my builds, to tell you the truth. Ratatouille is getting some more power to it, right? So the reason I didn't use this power is because the cost to damage ratio was just too high. But I think that this is going to make me try it in a lot of my builds, to tell you the truth. Zeus and Cuckoo jumped to mind, the first ones on the top of my list. So what they did on this one, they increased the magical power from 135 to 150, and then they increased the passive floor from 50 to 60%. Because remember, now it used to not give you that extra 25% and magic item power unless you were attacking guys that were under 50%. Now they only have to be under 60% to get that passive added damage, right? So that's going to be huge for this item. And they did the same thing for all its various flavors, right? Okay, do more above. So this one's another interesting one. They removed the mana that you get from this item, but they added 10% magical penetration. And they also increased the movement speed from 4% to 6%. That's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I might have to look at this one also. I used to use Rhodocephalus for the movement speed because it was the only item that I could use on my Xing Shang a build, right? Where yeah, he's not a healer, but I was able to get that 90 magic power plus that the hit points. I think it was like 200 hit points plus the movement speed, and that movement speed is what I really loved on that guardian, right? So having something like this might help to have another item I can look at to maybe add to the shuffle, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, Spirit Desolation. They just decreased the cost on that one. And that's pretty much it for items, man. As you saw there, I had to move through this pretty quick. You can always go to the Smite website and check, the different items for yourself if I went too fast. But yeah, man, it's looking like healing is just getting demolished in Smite, man. Now they're trying to caveat it as you're going to go further in, into some of these, God updates, and we're going to cover gods in a different video, right? Because this video is already dragged on along long enough as it is. Now for conquest, a lot of these item changes make sense, but I'm telling you right now, for arena, we're going to feel the pain. Chain CC teams were really bad prior to season 10. After season 10, they're gotten out of hand, and now Arena has been robbed of some of the basic tools, the essential tools we had to try to keep our people alive when they get chain CC'd. They're reducing our shields, they're reducing our healing. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is. So, but the main idea of this is, yeah, I see that arena is going to take a big hit. I can understand a lot of people are probably panicking right now, but don't panic just yet. Let's wait until all these changes go into effect, and then we'll see where we stand, man. And hopefully, if it is too crazy, then we can all, get together and start, giving them feedback that you're killing the game, man. You're killing the game. Maybe they should go into, some of these changes go into effect for conquest, but not for arena. Arena stays the same. You know what I'm saying? Something like that might work. But it is what it is. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget we're streaming on Twitch every Tuesday at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we play with all of our awesome Reapers. And if you're looking for some really cool people to play with, don't forget about our Discord. I got an invite to Discord description of this video, any of our videos, and our website, garzagaming.com. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm Dark Garza, your OG on GC. See you next time.